Hi, friends. How are you this week? I hope you're doing better than I've been doing this week, but I know it's been a lot for a lot of us, so I'm just glad you came here today and we can get on our mats together. Um, the theme of today's practice is going to be growth, and that growth comes in so many forms. It comes in the form of being honest with yourself, looking into your heart, looking into your mind, and growing from the inside out, and knowing that growth starts with you and it starts with each and every one of us, and looking into our own hearts and minds to grow and change and be better people every day. Every decision we make, everything we do, we can learn and grow from. So let's keep that in mind today as we move through our practice. Growth is not just about here on the mat, but it definitely applies. So as we stay connected to ourselves on the mat today and stay connected to our movements and our breath, also stay connected to that light inside of you, behind your ego, behind the persona that you are on the outside. That light is in you and is never changing. So look to that light for growth as you change your outer view, your outer world view, and just start to listen and understand and grow and change. So let's start today in Shavasana, laying back on our mat. If you'd like to keep your knees up, go ahead and do so if that feels better on your lower back. Shimmying your shoulders underneath of you. And just coming onto your mat to work today, to do the hard work that it takes to grow. Because as we all know, growth is not easy, change isn't easy, but it is absolutely necessary. So let's remind ourselves of that as we stay present today, as we stay mindful. Start to notice your breath and where it is. Don't change it quite yet, but because I want you to kind of notice where you are now as compared to where you are later. Is it shallow? What does your natural breathing rhythm look like? And as you notice it, without judgment, just see what it is, see what it's doing. Slowly start to deepen it. Start to grow your breath. Every inhale, let it come just a little bit further down into your belly. And exhale, push it slowly out your nose, trying to control it. Connecting to that ujjayi breath, which is like a wave breath, meaning the inhales are about the same as the exhales. And maybe as you inhale, you feel a constriction at the back of your throat, making it a little more audible. And as you exhale, connect to your core, pushing it out your nose. Every inhale, lengthen and expand. Every exhale, soften and release. Start to take some gentle movements, maybe rocking your hips from side to side, taking your knees from side to side, but continuing to let your breaths guide your movements, so taking it nice and slow. Kind of be exploratory, kind of explore here. Make every movement like it was the first one you've ever done. And just pay close attention to your body now. Maybe bringing your knees in and out. Sorry. Inhale, take your feet down. Tuck, maybe lengthen your tailbone towards the mat as your lower back lifts up. Exhale, draw the knees in as your lower back pushes into the mat. So some modified cat-cow spine here. Inhale to cow, pointing the tailbone towards the mat, lifting up the low back. And exhale, curling the spine down, lifting the tailbone up. Keep going here, same movements. Moving with your own rate of breath, keeping it nice and steady. Inhale, feel expansive. Maybe your chest opens a little more. And exhale, curl it in, maybe connecting to your core. A couple more of these on your own. Really exaggerate the movements now. If your neck is healthy, maybe drawing your neck towards your knees as you curl in. And setting your feet back, letting your spine come back to neutral, maybe taking your knees from side to side. Now, as you can see, I've got a few props here. I've got some blocks. Even a shoe would work here. Something, anything that you can kind of just hold on to. It could be any number of trinkets, whatever you have laying around your house. I will use a block since I have one. Stretching our arms and legs wide. Exhale, lifting our legs, lifting our arms, curling our spine onto the mat. Connecting to our core, inhale out. Keeping our legs and arms lifted. Exhale, curl in, grabbing onto your object, curling your spine. Inhale with control out, keeping a nice neutral look on your face. Exhale in, really connecting to your core, maybe lifting your tailbone off the mat a little bit. Inhale out. And set it down, release. Oh no, our block is at the bottom. Looks like we might have to do that again. Connecting to your core, inhale. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, with control, lengthen the limbs out. And release. Nice. Taking your object away, we're done with that. Taking hips from side to side if you need. And then inhale, nice and long spine, morning stretch. Grab onto your right or your left wrist with your right hand and exhale, tilt to the side, stretching the left side body. Inhale one more time to lengthen just a little bit more. And exhale one more time. Inhale back through center, get nice and tall, keep that lift, connect left arm to right wrist, and tilt to the other side. Inhale, feel the stretch in the right side body. And exhale, tilt just a little bit farther left. Inhale back through center, nice long limbs. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest and curl your spine. Inhale, left leg long, right knee into your chest. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze that right knee in. Inhale, start to push your right heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw it back in. Inhale, press the heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw it back in. Keeping connected to your core as you move. Trying to keep your hips level on the ground, no lifting up through the right side. Exhale, draw it in. Go ahead and prop your left foot on the ground and inhale the right heel out towards the ceiling. Exhale, cross that right leg over the left, maybe coming into full eagle, wrapping the right toes behind the left leg, bringing the knees up and the arms out to a T. Inhale, get really long. Exhale, twist to the left, taking the right knee across, taking your gaze up to the right. And softening into this twist. If you need more of an anchor, you can take your left hand to your right knee. Inhale back through center, connecting to your core, pressing your low back into the mat. And exhale, release your legs down. Inhale, right leg out, left knee into chest, hug it in, exhale. Inhale, start to push your left heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the knee in. Moving with your own breaths here. Take this a few times on your own. Be careful to keep that left hip really heavy into the mat. Try to keep your shoulders flat on the mat as well. Opening up through the hip, opening up through the hamstring. Putting a bend in the right leg, setting the right foot on the ground. Inhale the left heel out. Exhale, wrap that left leg around. Maybe your toes reach around your right leg. Bringing the knees up. Inhaling the arms out to a T. Exhale, take the legs over to the right and take the gaze out to the left, maybe using that right arm to anchor. Inhale to expand, and exhale to twist, looking farther out over that left shoulder. On your next inhale, connect to your core, pushing your low back into the ground, coming back through center, and releasing the legs down, rocking from side to side. Grab behind your hamstrings and start to rock and roll along your spine, gaining momentum as you go. Taking your time here if this feels good. Freaking my dog out back there. And then coming up to an easy seat. Hello again. Settling yourself on the ground. And whatever knee and whatever leg is on top, we're going to start with that one. So mine is my right leg. Taking foot or hand opposite foot. Inhale the heel out. Exhale, draw it in. Getting ready for some happy baby. No, just kidding. Rock the baby. Inhale the heel out. Exhale the foot in. Sitting up through, nice and tall through your spine. Sending the sits bones into the ground to send the crown nice and high. Notice that when you do that, when you try to sit your tailbone into the ground, it automatically lifts you up through your spine. So keep moving here with your breath. Nice long inhales and exhales. Inhale to expand. Exhale to draw it in. Taking your knee in your hand and your foot in your hand. You can either keep it here and slowly rock back and forth out of your hip, or come into the full bind, taking your foot into your elbow creases and your knee into your elbow crease. And just slowly lift up, drawing your leg, your shin towards your chest, just slowly rocking. So if you're still here, just continue to focus on lifting through the spine and pulling that shin closer to your body. Or you've got the full bind and you're just rocking that baby. Coming into some stillness. Feel that hip. Sitting up nice and tall with our inhale. And exhale, releasing the leg, setting the right ankle on top of the left knee for fire log pose. Get comfortable. If you need to readjust, go ahead. Or if you need to even put like a blanket or something underneath of your sits bones to give your hips a little bit of a lift. Sometimes that helps with the rounding of the low back. Get comfy. And whenever you're ready, inhale, arms up overhead. Nice tall spine. Keep that lift. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Taking the arms out nice, long in front of you. And then exhale, just release your head and neck between your biceps. Pushing your hands into the ground to keep your sits bones rooted. Continue to breathe here, feeling the stretch in your outer thigh. Feel it in my outer right hip here. One more inhale and exhale. Release completely on that last exhale. And inhale, slowly start to walk your hands in towards your legs. Inhale, rising your hands above your head. And release your arms behind you, releasing your legs, and just giving yourself some windshield wipers for a release. Taking it slowly or as quickly as you'd like. Switching legs, whatever leg was on top. So now I'll be doing my left leg. Taking opposite hand to opposite foot. Inhale the heel out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale out. Sitting up through the crown. Exhale in. Not only lengthening through the knee, but lengthening through the spine as well. Connecting to that light inside of you guys, listening to it, and growing from there. And drawing the shin towards the chest, either staying here and rocking out of your hip, or taking the full bind. Sitting up nice and tall, drawing that shin bone in towards your chest. Really try to isolate those movements in your hip. Nice deep breaths in and out. And then coming to stillness. Feeling what the motion did in your hips. And taking that left or right foot, left foot over right knee. fire log pose, sitting up nice and tall, maybe rearranging the blanket underneath the sits bones if you need. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lean forward, pushing into your hands to keep your sits bones rooted. And just release your head and neck. Continue to breathe deeply here. Keeping a flex in the foot, toes pointed towards shin to protect the knee. One more full inhale and exhale, releasing completely on the exhale. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the shins, rolling the spine back up, raising the arms overhead. And exhale, releasing the hands behind you, releasing the legs, taking some windshield wiper the knees. And then taking your feet out in front of you, long, setting up for a forward fold. If you would like, again, a blanket underneath your sits bones, if that helps to have your hips lifted off the ground just a little bit. Rooting the tailbone into the mat to lift your spine up. Exhale, firm your legs into the ground, maybe lifting your heels up off the ground to see what that feels like. Inhale, arms overhead. Keeping that lift. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Leading with the chest. Taking your hands out as far as they will go. Maybe grabbing onto the feet or the shins. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head towards the front of the room and the tailbone back. Exhale, maybe find a little bit more of a fold, keeping a nice flex in the toes, trying to reach the toes back towards the calves. Shins, not calves. Every inhale, expand, getting the spine even longer. And exhale, connecting to the core, maybe finding a little bit more of a fold. If you need to ease off or out of this pose, if you're feeling too much sensation here, just go ahead and lift back up a little bit out of it until you find your edge again. Just continue to breathe here. As you take these long inhales and exhales, you're telling your body it's okay. Everything is fine here. I'm fine. Don't panic. I know this feels a little weird, but don't panic. It's okay. Those long breaths help keep your body and your mind calm. One more inhale to get really long. And then exhale, just release your head and neck down towards your legs. Feel the rounding in the spine as you slowly start to lift back up. Head and neck last. Maybe giving yourself a nice little massage as you go. Awesome. Releasing your legs. Giving yourself a little bit of a relief. Put your hair up if you need to. I don't know, do something. Whatever you need to do. I don't know. Rolling over, finding a tabletop. If you'd like your blanket still for your knees, sometimes that helps. Wrists directly under shoulders and knees directly under hips. Making sure we find our nice strong foundation first. Pressing up and out of the L's of our hands, making sure that we're not just dumping our weight into our wrists, but really trying to press up and out through our fingertips. Inhale, cow, reaching the chest, the heart forward, and the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reverse that motion, taking the tailbone towards the earth and the crown towards the earth. Inhale, back up. Maybe trying to take your tailbone towards your crown. And exhale, cat. Moving with your own breaths here. Taking whatever motion feels good. If you'd like to take a few barrel rolls here. And if you're barrel rolling, make sure you roll to the opposite direction as well. And finding a neutral spine, setting your hips back down, pushing your hands out in front of you, coming into a child's pose, just releasing for a second and refinding your breath. Setting your forehead on the mat, maybe releasing your arms behind you, grabbing onto your heels and finding a nice little package. Releasing your arms and shoulders, palms facing up. Coming back up to a tabletop. And stepping up to our first standing posture today, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Crown pushes towards the front of the room and the tailbone back. Exhale, fold forward, leading with the chest. Bend in the knees. Inhale, slowly start to rise. Taking your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale them back down your back. Inhale, circle sweep arms up to the sky. Maybe lifting your gaze. Bend your knees, fold forward, exhale. Inhale, straighten through the knees, straighten through the spine, lifting up halfway, maybe firming your hands into your shins. Exhale, release down, maybe folding. Inhale, arms sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, sit down into your chair pose. Inhale, tailbone lengthens back, connect to your core. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms to the sky, slowly rise. Exhale, sit back down into your chair. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, keep that reach with your hips and lean forward, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep arms up, bend in the knees as you rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nicely done. All right, moving your blanket, moving whatever you got. So we already did this on the floor, so I don't want to hear, I can't do this, this is too hard. You can totally do this, you guys. We're growing today, okay? Think of your growth. Think of, yes, I can. This can happen. Don't be afraid. All right. Inhale your right knee up towards your chest, firming your left foot into the ground. Exhale, maybe draw your knee in a little bit more, squaring your hips. Inhale to send your crown up towards the ceiling and your shoulders down your back. Exhale, find a little bit more steadiness here. Find a focus for your gaze and continue balancing here for a few breaths. Connecting to your core, trying every inhale to get even firmer, and every exhale squeeze in just a little bit more. And release. Just do a little dance real quick. Firming your right foot into the ground. Inhale, left foot raises. Exhale, square your hips and squeeze your knee into your chest. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to get steady. Find your drishti, find your point of focus, so you can help that balance stay even steadier. Long inhales and exhales. And release. Whew, nice. All right, now that we're a little more comfortable balancing, let's move on. Firming your left foot into the ground, inhale your right knee to chest. Exhale to get steady. Inhale, either stay here or reach down with your peace fingers to grab a hold of your big toe and slowly start to extend your heel towards the front of the room. Exhale, square your hips. Inhale to lengthen through the heel, lengthen through the spine, shoulders down your back. Exhale, stay steady. Inhale, start to really light up your quads and your hamstring, and start to lighten up the weight or your fingers. And then stay steady as you exhale. Connect to your core, connect to your muscles in your leg. Inhale one more time. Keep that leg lifted. And exhale, set it down. Nicely done, you guys. So think about the muscles that you want to engage whenever we're coming into the next side. So the quads on top, hamstrings on the bottom, the glutes, just keep everything nice and lifted as you slowly start to release those peace fingers. Grounding our right foot into the ground. Inhale, left knee up towards the chest. Exhale to get steady. Inhale, either stay here or reach for your big toe with your peace fingers and extend your heel towards the front of the room. Exhale to square your hips and stay steady. Inhale to lengthen through the crown. And exhale, pull that hip back just a little bit more. Inhale, lighten up your hand. Really get your leg a-working here. Keep it lifted as you exhale. Square your hips. Inhale one more time, really long. Try to keep that leg lifted as much as you can. Exhale, release. With control. Nice. Good job, you guys. Rock that one out. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Now we did that. That's gone. Whatever happened, we let it go. We grew from that. And next time we'll be even better. You know that. All right. Firming our left foot into the ground, raising our right knee towards our chest. Inhale. Exhale, wrapping that right leg over left, maybe wrapping that right toe around the left leg. Eagle pose. Inhale the arms out wide. Get really tall. Exhale, wrap your left arm under right. Maybe give yourself a big hug. Or move into full eagle arms, wrapping your hands around each other. Maybe back of the palm to the back of the palm, or palms together. Wherever you are, inhale your shoulders out. So protract your shoulders and push your elbows to the front of the room. Exhale to squeeze your limbs towards each other just a little bit more and sink down. Inhale, elbows go wide. Exhale, sink just a little bit deeper. Inhale, untwist. Set your foot down. Release your legs. Feel that sweat going on. Moving into the second side. Firming the right foot down. Inhale the left knee up to the chest. And exhale, wrap that left leg over right, maybe wrapping the toes behind the right. Finding steadiness, finding your gaze. Inhale, arms out wide. And exhale, right arm sweeps under left, giving yourself a big hug or taking it into full eagle arms. Inhale the elbows out, really reaching the shoulders forward. And exhale, sitting just a little bit further into this, really squeezing the legs and arms together. Keeping that gaze. Inhale, press the shoulders out, elbows out. Exhale, set just a little bit further into this. Ah, nice. And inhale, up, untangle, and release. Very nicely done, you guys. Awesome. Now that we've done that, coming to the top of your mat, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, taking your hands behind you, interlacing them. Inhale, reach through your chest, sending your shoulders down your back, punching your fists down. And exhale, fold forward. Taking your chest towards your knees, taking your fists up overhead, still lengthening through the chest. Exhale, fold farther down, taking the fists farther overhead. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to release down, maybe taking opposite elbows, taking a generous bend in the knees. Ragdoll, rocking from side to side, just letting gravity release your spine. Sometimes this helps to have weight in the toes here, so coming just a little bit farther onto your toes, feeling how that changes the trajectory of your spine towards the ground. So with this next sequence, you might want to have a blanket or something to help with cushioning your knees. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back to a low lunge, moving your hands to the inside of your foot for lizard and lowering your back knee. Turning your front toes out. Inhale, the left arm up and over, arching and reaching for that back foot. So if you're here and this is not going to work for you today, then just stay here, reaching and opening through the chest, opening through the hips, and continuing to breathe deeply. From here, you can bend the back knee, connecting the left foot or the left hand to right foot, and slowly start to draw your heel in toward your glute. So keeping resistance here, keeping a nice flex in the toes to keep your knee nice and protected. And keep trying to look out over that left shoulder, opening up through the chest, sending the shoulders down your back. And just sinking a little farther into your hips. Inhale to expand, maybe kick into your hand. And exhale, draw that heel closer into the glute as you find more of a twist. One more inhale wherever you are, expand. And then release the back foot, coming back into lizard, turning the toes to face forward. Inhale to lengthen the front leg, sending the hips back. And exhale, fold forward. Feeling a stretch in the hamstring and the inner thigh. Inhale to lengthen the crown forward, keeping a nice long spine. If you need to bend the front knee, keep it bent as generously as you need. And exhale, fold farther forward. Inhale to release, putting a generous bend in the front leg. Inhale, lift that back leg off the ground, looking forward. Exhale, step your back foot up, keeping toes pointed out, and sink down into a malasana squat. So if you need a blanket or a pillow or something underneath your hips, if your heels aren't reaching the ground right now, reaching up and out through the crown and down through the tailbone. Nice long breaths here. Reaching through with the chest, shoulder or elbows into knees, knees into elbows. One more inhale to get long, wherever you are. Exhale, release down, straightening the legs, coming back into a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back for a low lunge. Taking your hands on the inside of that front foot, setting your back knee down, turning your front toes wide. Inhale the right hand up and back, staying here and opening through the chest or bending the back knee and connecting the right foot to left, right arm to left foot. Inhale to kick into that back hand, and exhale, sending the hips farther down towards the floor and the heel into the glute. Inhale to lengthen through the chest, opening up through the shoulders. Exhale to twist. Nice long steady breaths here. As we grow. One more inhale to get long, to grow, to expand. And exhale, set that back foot down. Turning the toes forward. Bringing the back knee up. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, coming into a malasana squat. Turning the toes wide, sinking the hips low. Inhale the crown up and the tailbone down. Exhale, firm elbows into knees, knees into elbows. And releasing, stepping back to your lizard because I forgot the half fold, my bad. So inhale to lengthen that front leg. And exhale, fold over that front leg. Opening up through the hamstrings and the inner thigh. Can't believe I forgot this part. I love these. Inhale to lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold, leading with the chest. And putting a bend in that front knee. Stepping it back up. Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle sweep arms to the sky, slowly taking it up. Head and neck last. And exhale, bend in the knees, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Spine long. Exhale, step both feet back to tabletop. Coming into Gomukhasana or cow face legs. Put your right foot or your right knee behind your left knee. Take your shins wide and then sit back down into this pose. There are many ways to get into this pose, but this is one of my favorites because it really just lines everything up so nicely. So as much as you can, try to stack one knee on top of the other. If it's not exactly perfect or it isn't just working for you today, take it back, ease it off just a little bit. Do what feels good to you. And once we've made it to a comfortable position here, really trying to firm our sits bones into the ground as much as possible, flexing through the feet, inhale to sit up through the spine. And exhale, slowly lead with the chest, leaning forward, taking it as far forward as is comfortable for you. And then just releasing your spine, feeling it curl. I give you full permission to just release that low back right now. And feel the stretch in the outer left hip here as you breathe deeply. Can't be said enough. I feel like I'm a broken record. Keep breathing, you guys. And just release completely with your last exhale. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your legs. Roll your spine back up. Release your legs. Taking some windshield wipers. And then crossing your shins and rolling back to a tabletop position. Setting up for the other side. So taking your left knee behind your right. Trying to stack them as much as possible, taking your shins out wide, and then just setting it back, gently setting it back. And it should pretty nicely stack your knees on top of the other. And like I said, adjust so this feels good, and make sure your sits bones are connected to the floor as much as possible. Inhale, lengthen your spine, brighten your chest towards the ceiling. And exhale, keep that lift, folding forward over your legs, connecting your belly to your knees. And then just slowly roll your head and neck down, releasing the low back, just rounding here. Feeling the outer right hip release as you breathe. I feel like there should be a drinking game with how much I tell you guys to breathe. Probably be real drunk by the end. And with your last exhale, release completely over your legs, finding just a little bit more room. And then slowly start to walk your hands back towards your legs. Release your hands behind you. And just take some gentle windshield wiper knees. Awesome. Yes. I love these. I know you're going to hate me, but I used to actually really hate these, so do not fret if you do. Once again, since we are in a sitting position, if you'd like to have something underneath your sits bones to lift your hips off the ground a little bit, it does really help with lengthening the low back. Try it out and see what I mean. Oof. Nice. There we go. So once you've got your wide-legged seat, you don't need to like exaggerate it and go all out like split style. I'm usually pretty comfortable, right here. I mean, you can be in as far as you'd like, but just kind of where is comfortable for you. You're not super straining, but you do feel it just a little bit. Inhale, nice and long, raising our hands over our head, pointing your belly towards your right knee. And exhale, release down towards the right leg, opening up. I'm sorry, you guys, I have a timer set. My bad. Just keep stretching, keep stretching. Folding down towards our right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Really try to keep our left sits bones onto the ground because there's a tendency for them to lift up as you're folding here. And just keep trying to fold over, feeling the opening in the left side back here. This is a pretty intense stretch, so if you're not nearly as far down, that's totally fine. Just trying to lead with your chest, nose to toes. On your next inhale, connect to your core, slowly lift your torso back up. And turning our belly to the next side, exhale, fold over your left foot. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold just a little bit further. Maybe feeling a stretch in your low right side back, your inner thigh. Trying to keep our sits bones into the mat. And on your next inhale, connect to your core and slowly start to rise. Inhale, arms overhead. Keeping that reach, start to hinge forward. Keeping a nice flex in your toes here. Find your edge here, but really try to keep your spine nice and long. Toes pointed up. Sits bones on the ground, inner thighs working. Every exhale, expand. Try to reach your tailbone back and your crown forward. And exhale, find a little bit more fold. And your next inhale, connect to your core. Slowly start to rise. And bring your knees in. Stretch your legs long, setting yourselves up for our last fold. Sitting down through our sits bones, reaching up through our spine. Inhale, arms overhead. Keeping that reach, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Inhale, tailbone back and crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. See if you can get down just a little further than you did the first time. Or just notice if you feel any different than you did the first time. Did you grow even just a little bit today? What is your body telling you right now? Hey, I hate you. Why are you doing this to me? Or, I really freaking like this stretch. Let's do this one again. Listen to your body. Take the feedback it gives you and just continue to grow from that. And allow yourself to just learn from what you experienced today. On your last exhale, just release your head and neck. And inhale, slowly start to roll your spine back up with your head and neck last. Heart over pelvis. Plant your feet. Inhale, lean backward, connecting to your core. Maybe lift your heels off the ground, shins parallel to the ground, keeping your hands as a kickstand down here if you'd like. Or at your next inhale, brighten up your chest even more and float your arms up next to your shins. Inhale to reach through the crown of your head. And exhale, curl your low spine, coming into low boat. Feet off the ground, shoulders off the ground. Inhale, not using any momentum, but using your core to reach back up into high boat. Exhale down, curling your spine onto the ground. Inhale, keep that lift, taking your arms overhead. And exhale, release all the way down, maybe taking it to a morning stretch. Arms overhead and toes reaching to the front of the room. Find that length. And exhale, draw your knees in. And just rock your hips from side to side. Massaging the low back. Setting the feet down. Inhale the right leg to the sky and crossing it over the left knee, reaching in between your legs, threading the needle, connecting your hands to your left hamstring or just the top leg here, drawing it in. Exhale. Trying to keep your hips square. Inhale. Exhale, draw it in. Feeling a nice stretch in your hips, cooling everything down. Couple nice long breaths here as you explore what your body is telling you right now. How are your hips feeling? Does one feel a little stranger than the other one? Is one side a little tighter than the other side? What did you notice about your body today? And releasing your legs. Inhale the left heel up. And exhale, crossing it over the right, reaching in between your legs for your right hamstring or your top leg. And exhale, drawing it in. Keeping a flex to the feet. Keeping those legs working. Exhale. Keep drawing the knees in towards the chest. And release the legs. Reaching for the back hamstrings or the outer feet. Inhale. Really push up and out of the heels. And exhale, draw them in. Happy baby. Maybe finding some gentle movement here. Doing whatever feels good. Taking the next few seconds to just do whatever feels good for you. And we will shortly be setting up for Shavasana. So if you'd like to grab a pillow or a blanket or both or whatever you need to kind of get comfy here for the next few minutes, go ahead and do that. Drawing our knees towards our chest. Inhale. Exhale, really squeeze them in. One last long inhale. And exhale. Find Shavasana. Letting your limbs go long, maybe pressing into your arms to flatten your shoulders down your back. And take a minute or so just to get everything situated. If you need to take your hair down, if you need to move your clothes so you're more comfortable, do that now. But then just get ready to settle into some stillness. And let your body absorb the practice, the growth that you just found. As we get all the wigglies out and we're ready to kind of be still, start to get really heavy. Relax your face, maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze. Relax your jaw and the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Start to notice your breath. With every breath you take, maybe do a body scan, a full body scan from toe to head, and exhale head to toe. Every breath pass, try to soften just a little bit more. See what you can let go of or release. Maybe you didn't even know you were holding on to. Maybe scan your heart and see what thing maybe that you're holding on to. Find whatever you have to release to grow today. Growth is directly related to what we're willing to do to find that growth. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles out a little bit. Start to come back into your body, deepening your breaths once more. And whenever you're ready, roll to one side or the other. Using your arm to rest your head, going into recovery position. I'm just taking a few moments here. Stay here for just a few minutes. But I just want to challenge you guys today. As we lay here, what's something you can change today so you can be a better person, a better version of yourself? What's something that you've been holding on to that maybe you don't want to let go, you haven't wanted to let go? Maybe it's a pride or an ego thing. What's holding you back from growth? What is the thing that is standing in your way from change? What can we do better? How can we be better? I challenge you to find that in your own life. Before you go out and try to change anyone else, try to change yourself first. Look at your own heart. And then whatever you do from that point on, do it from a place of absolute love. We can be non-violent with our actions and still completely speak our truth. And to find that balance, that is everything. That is the ultimate growth. Whenever you're ready, slowly rise back up with your head and neck last. I'm going to read this little passage to you before we say goodbye. Change is constant, but growth is optional. Stand still or learn and grow today. Where you ultimately end up is dependent on your momentary attitude and response. Think about that. What did I say earlier? Your growth is directly involved with what you do to change for that growth. So never assume that you're stuck with the way things are right now. Life changes every single second, and so can you. That's so important to know. It's just like life affirming. So thank you guys so much for showing up with me on your mats today. I am so honored to be able to lead you in your yoga practice today. And as we inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And just know the light that is in me, that little light of awareness that's in me, sees and appreciates and loves that light that is inside of you guys. Go in peace today. Go in growth today. Namaste.